I'm going to make a take this time. I want you to forget that you're Errol Flynn, but instead that you're Fletcher Christian, leader of a mutiny, facing a desperate band of men. You're grim and determined. You can only stop them by the sheer force of your personality and character. When you put up your hand, you must not only be determined, as far as your movement is concerned, but you must show it definitely in your eyes. I want you to put that feeling right across. All right, we'll make a take this time. Right. Quiet everywhere. Action.
I will carry you and land you wherever you please. I desire none to stay with me. I have only one favor to beg, that you grant me the bounty. Make fast the foresail and leave me to run before the wind. I have done such an act that I cannot stay at Tahiti, and I'll never live to be carried home a disgrace to my family.
Go where you will, Mr. Christian. We shall never leave you.
Aye! Aye!
Charles Chauvel made a very definite contribution to motion picture production in this country, particularly in the 30s and 40s. He and I were contemporaries, rivals if you wish, but friendly rivals. And I think perhaps the rivalry that existed helped to build the industry that we had going in the 30s. My first real contact with Chauvel was when he was making a film called In the Wake of the Bounty. He began it in Tahiti, and then came to Sydney Sound, where I just finished making a film called A Squatter's Daughter, and he came to take over the studio to do his interiors.
One of the great scenes ever put on the screen by Charles Chauvel was the big charge at the end of 40,000 Horsemen. In my opinion, it's the best scene that was ever put on, the best charge scene ever put on the screen by an Australian director, by any director that's come over from England or from America to Australia. And I'd even go so far as to say that, in my opinion, it's the greatest charge scene that has ever been put onto film by any director anywhere in the world. He had hundreds of men, all mounted with 3 or 3 rifles with their bayonet fixed, charging on Gaza. And this, look, even today this scene is so exciting that if you can only see it up on the big screen again, oh, it's a picture and a half.
Again, 3 years ago, Australia's ace director, Charles Chauvel, set himself the colossal task of attempting to recreate the gallant exploits of the Australian light horse in Palestine. A terrific undertaking, entailing the assembling and handling of thousands of men and tons of material in desert country miles from anywhere. Even Hollywood has never staged picture making on a more gigantic scale. But Chauvel was determined that Australia alone should have the honor of glorifying the unconquerable spirit of our own Australian light horse. So now from the thunder of the world's most heroic adventure surges 40,000 Horsemen, a glorious romance of deathless courage and devotion that will storm the hearts of every Australian.
What's your name?
Red Gallagher.
Red Gallagher.
What's yours?
Juliette Rouget.
Julia. Now listen to me. At the present moment, you're just a wet, grubby little boy with absolutely no charm whatsoever. So stop being so damn feminine about changing your clothes. Go on.
What do you think about Red?
Just wondering where all this will end. Desert, war, me, you, everything.
You fascinating little devil.
We'll be burned at the stake for less witchery than you're handing me out tonight.
Get the address of the Cafe Chanton from that little Sheila. Did I get it? You ever known him to fail in anything like that?
You can't drink all that.
It belongs to a British general.
Magnificently, vividly, thrillingly, 40,000 devil-may-care, hard-riding sons of Australia charged to glory in the grandest romantic adventure ever filmed. The stirring love story, with its enthralling drama and infectious comedy highlights, are brilliantly enacted by a mighty cast, headed by lovely, talented Betty Bryant. Grant Taylor, 6 feet of fighting Australian manhood. Handsome Pat Toohill, staunch comrade with the way with women. Hard-case Chips Rafferty, looking for trouble with a laugh and a jest. And Joe Valley, veteran comedian of the Australian screen, Harvey Adams, and a host of other grand performers. 40,000 Horsemen captures the dauntless spirit that fought and won imperishable luster in the annals of empire. Here truly is romantic adventure to make the heart of every Australian man, woman, and child beat faster by its resounding call to courage and loyalty, to all life's gallantry.
Charles Chauvel, maker of 40,000 Horsemen, now brings the epic heroism of Tobruk and Kokoda Trail to the screen in a blaze of undying glory. The Rats of Tobruk is matchless, blood-stirring entertainment, alive with action. Romance.
Oh, don't look so shocked about it, Kate. Men are like that.
Are they really like that, Bluey? Really?
Well, we weren't married, and you were miles away.
Would have happened just the same after we were married, Bluey. You're that type of man. Unstable, wild. You'd never really belong to any one woman or any one place.
How do you like them? Well, I like them tall and dark, short, fair, ginger. I like them.
You like them. Thank God you're getting out of this.
Oh, Peter, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Here, come on, chill. It's all right. We'll meet each other as soon as I get out of this place.
Oh, will we, Peter? Will we?
Yes, we will. Comedy.
Oh, Chloe. Fancy meeting you all the way out here. Oh, Chloe, after all.
Courage. Rats of Tobruk is enacted by the perfect cast, headed by Grant Taylor as Bluey, Peter Finch as Peter, Chips Rafferty as Milo, Pauline Garrick as Kate, famous comedian George Wallace as the Barber of Tobruk. The imperishable deeds of the Rats of Tobruk, from choking desert sands to the jungle swamps of New Guinea, the one great picture every Australian will see with deep national pride.
Challenge after challenge as an Australian family fights for survival. Story of a family who would not be beaten. Jane and Matthew are reared in their children. Stern and independent, they ask favor of none. John O'Malley and Thelma Scott in their greatest role. Nicky, the youngest of Matthew's sons, will tug at your heartstrings and make you proud of your tears.
What did you put the sock there for, Mickey?
so Father Christmas won't have to walk so far. He might be tired.
You know, it's a very bad year for Father Christmas.
And it's another very big soccer field.
You're shy. I didn't notice it last night when you met one of them.
You mean the red-headed one?
I like him.
Oh, Selina, you better not let Dan hear you say that.
Well, I like red-headed men. They're so, you know.
A human stirring story of a family enriched by the driving spirit of their father.
Well, you can either stay down here building somebody else's fences or shearing somebody else's sheep, or you can start sweating over soil that'll someday be your own.
The sons of Matthew dynamite the mountainsides. Their axes open a new Australia to the screen. Their life affairs will thrill you as they conquer the jungle, battle the cyclone which rips at their little kingdom, and fight in the town below the range. Sons of Matthew, the kind of men you'd want your men to be. Michael Pate as Shane. Ken Wayne as Barney. Tommy Burns as Luke. John Unicum as Terry. John Hewitt as Mickey. And Wendy Gibb as Kathy McAllister, loved by two of Matthew's sons, and she in turn loved...
If only you felt the way I do. Kathy, why don't you...
Barney, don't you hurt him.
I want to hurt you. I want to make you feel like I do.
Shane.
You're going to be my wife and bear my sons because that's the way it was meant to be. Neither you nor I nor Barney can do anything about it.
Your passport to a great adventure, as does Australia itself.
My most wonderful memory of all was the one of our last work together in the Northern Territory when we did the 13 half-hour episodes for the BBC in England. When Charles and I made Walkabout, it was the first colour series made in Australia for world release. They were wonderful days to spend with Charles, who loved the outdoors. The riding with the cattle, the wonderful nights camping under the stars, the sound of the horse bells as the cattle were sung to sleep by the drovers. Then the adventurous times on the buffalo plains. They were very exciting. The crocodile hunting with Charles. There was so much. Charles always called them our blue heaven days. I love to keep this memory as my most wonderful one of my partner.
Charles Chauvel made 10 feature films, scores of documentaries, and a television series for the BBC. And every film showed Australia or Australians off to advantage. Chauvel admired his local technicians, and during his lengthy career provided work and support to thousands of people associated with the movie industry. He died of a heart attack in 1959 while working on a new series of Walkabout for the BBC. And the closest one could come to summarizing this complex man and his work is through a maxim he so admired. Enthusiasm is everything. Without it, a great picture cannot be made.